The trade war between the United States and China is having a dramatic impact on air cargo shipments of live Canadian lobster to China. It's proving a boon for the Nova Scotia lobster industry, which provides the lion's share of Canadian supply. Our market share is getting more and more for this July, August and September, said Yang Xue, general manager of Chinese-owned First Catch Fisheries, which now operates 3 charter flights a week carrying live lobster from Halifax to China, much more than last year and the last couple of years, Xue said. Canadian exports to China immediately doubled. First Catch is a part of a macroeconomic event. The first month China imposed the retaliatory 25% tariff on American lobster, Canadian shipments nearly doubled compared to the year before. Yang Xue, the general manager of Chinese-owned First Catch Fisheries, works with his team to get Canadian lobsters to the Chinese market. CBC shipments to China went from 627,000 kilos in July 2017 to over 1.25 million kilos in July 2018, according to Canadian government statistics. The value went up as well from $12 million to nearly $21 million. Most of that is flown out of Halifax Stanfield International Airport on jumbo jets carrying about 80,000 kilograms of live lobster per trip. Never imagined this much. It's pretty massive, said Abby McDonald, operations manager at Flying Fresh Air Freight, a freight forwarding business. We never would have imagined this amount of freight moving. Abby McDonald, a freight operations manager, says she never imagined moving this amount of cargo. CBC, this week 8 charter flights will carry live lobster, most of it from Nova Scotia, to Asia. 6 are direct flights to China. 2 will go to Seoul, South Korea. The lift effort is extraordinary for late September, a time when the region has only one lobster fishery underway in the Northumberland Strait between New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Normally we have a lull in our workload at some point in the summer. This summer that lull never came, McDonald said. Demand outstrips capacity. Halifax Airport shippers say Halifax is struggling to keep up with demand, with live lobster charters now being flown out of Moncton. The logistics hub in Halifax is also dispatching trucks to airports in Toronto and Montreal. Passenger aircraft also carry live lobster. It's still not enough, hence the chartered jumbo jets. I couldn't even imagine what we could do if we had the capacity out of here, said McDonald. She credits Gateway Facilities, the company that does most of the ground handling for the freighters, with doing an exceptional job. But there's only so much space and so much runway for them to handle. Where is it all coming from? Industry sources say live lobster inventories have been well drawn down by now. There have been fears Maine lobster, which is effectively shut out of China, is being imported into Canada and then shipped out as Canadian lobster to avoid the Chinese tariffs. It's a concern expressed by Jeff Irvine of the Lobster Council of Canada at a fishermen's forum in Yarmouth, NS. Last week, some of our live shippers are worried it could erode the Canadian market. It would undercut our market advantage in China and the prices we have, and we don't want that, Irvine told CBC News. Canadian lobster better quality than Maine. Yang Xue said Canadian hard-shell lobster is clearly better than its soft-shell counterparts from Maine. The company added a charter to China after the tariff was imposed. The key effect of the tariff, he sees, is to keep Maine lobster out of China and drive down price. The price is not being impacted by the U.S. lobster as last year and the year before. So what I see is Canadian lobster getting a better price and the only market. Read more articles at CBC Nova Scotia.